comes to lead safety and how to wear pieces that are most appropriate for your body. So I'm gonna have you place this on just the normal way you would. Okay, so typically you'll just take the apron, place it on, slap those little puppies closed in the front, and you're good to go. So the thing about it is that no one's teaching you that's actually not the right way to put on an apron. The proper way to anchor a frontal apron only is to place it on, shrug your shoulders up really high, grab onto those tabs, pull them tight, close, and reduce your shoulders last. So what that does, can I have you turn sideways? What that does is create a gap at the top, which reduces the strain on your chest, your shoulders, and your back. It also anchors the weight of the apron at your waist versus driving you forward. Can you loosen it up for me one more time? And then just close it. So when you have it on and you're not doing that motion, the weight of the apron is driving you forward over time, causing issues with your back and your neck. One's a posture change, another one is associated with weight. So wearing it properly, lifting your shoulders, pulling tight and closing will release all that strain off of your back and neck, okay? So this can be used in that manner on a frontal, a full wrap, anything that has these pull tabs, you can do that same motion. On another version of apron, proper use, anything that has a support piece available is recommended highly. It's the same motion, just done differently with a different version of support piece. So this one, the support piece is built in. Basically, you just want to buckle it, shrug your shoulders, pull tight, and reduce your shoulders, creating that gap at the top, anchoring all the weight at your waist. With a full wrap, your weight is evenly distributed front and back, so you don't necessarily have to worry about it driving you forward, but it's still centered at your core. Okay? With regard to, thank you. With regard to different types of apron styles and how it affects what you're wearing, typically the best thing to evaluate is what is your job within the procedure room. If you are scrubbed and you're always forward facing to beam and you don't ever turn sideways and the screen is not oriented sideways, there's really not necessarily a need to wear something that's 50% heavier on your body if you're always forward facing. What you're looking at is radiation coming out from the bottom of the table and off the patient. So if you can get something to at least top of knee, by that I mean the shortest, longer past the knee would be ideal. And then make sure you have no issues with open areas at thyroid shield, that you are wearing a thyroid shield as well. There's no reason why, if you're getting hit from the bottom and off the patient, that you need to wear a full wrap. If you're never getting exposure at your back or side, you're good to wear a frontal. However, if you are circulating, if you are turned, or a screen is oriented sideways, and you're getting hit on the side with radiation, you should be in a full wrap. Whether it's a one piece or a two piece, you're fine either way, just make sure your back is covered as well. There are a couple different ways that aprons are made that affect your safety. I'm gonna walk through two different styles of Burlington aprons to show you that. So our aprons are very visually easy to see which style it is. This is a full overlap vest. This is probably the most popular and the oldest style that's been in the market. What's important to understand is that each panel on this vest is half protection. So if we're looking to achieve 0.5 lead equivalency, the internal panel is 0.25, the external panel is 0.25. Together they equal 0.5. It's critical that these are covering seam to seam to understand and get the full overlap of the apron. A partial overlap, you can see visually, the panel is shorter in front. The Velcro is actually shorter as well. So each panel on this apron is full protection. Each panel 0.5, 0.5. Doesn't matter where you close it, each panel is fully protecting. It could be just covering over and you're good to go. This is the best style of apron for sharing within a department. You don't need to worry about body type. You take all the questions out from whether or not you're getting coverage with this. So this apron is not closing all the way and closes like this. Your exposure points are here and here. So you want to make sure that you understand which apron you're wearing and how it affects your safety.
Do we have that style here?
Some of the styles you do have a different vendor, older pieces that are in play, which is totally fine. Some of them are full overlaps, but instead of having a big panel where the Velcro is all the way to the seam, it might look a little bit more like this. So this is technically on another vendor considered to be a full overlap, depending upon which vendor it is. Ours, you can very clearly see what it is. Other vendors, they look a little bit more like this, leaving a bit of an exposure point on this side and this side if it's not fully overlapping. But again, the more cognizant you are of what you're wearing, the easier it is to make sure you're adequately covered. Frontal aprons. Actually, I'm gonna talk about male versus female. So with these styles, there are two types of aprons available, meaning there's a male version and a female version of each style of apron. You should try and do your best to wear what's available within that range and try and stick as best to your size as you can find. The reason why I say that is because anything too small is a safety concern, anything too big is a safety concern as well. Too small, you're not getting proper coverage. Kilts function the same way as a full overlap vest does. Each panel, you want it to fully overlap itself so that you're getting that coverage. If it's not and it's too small or too short, you're exposing long bones and you're not getting enough coverage. Frontal, you want to try and get at least 1/2 to 3/4 coverage on the side. The last thing you want to do is wear an apron that's only covering you this much in a procedure, because then you're getting exposed in front as well. The main driver of difference between style male versus female are armholes. Some of them, when it gets to bigger sizes, you can see a difference in the length or width. But for the most, if they're custom or two-piece, you may see it more. But biggest point is armholes. Male armholes are longer and wider. If a petite female is wearing a larger piece and a male version of a vest or apron, you're gonna see a lot of breast exposure on the side. If you can slide your arms in, probably not a good fit. Sorry.
Oh, what about pregnancy?
Can you pause me for 1 second?